if you can hear me when you hop in. Um, I went on a whim, went live, decided, let's do this. I'm pulling up on a different device so I can hear. Maybe. It doesn't show that I'm live, though. Oh, it says I'm live. But am I? That's what I want to know. What the heck is all this stuff? What's happening? I don't know what's happening. There we go. Hey! There we go. Hey! Okay, so, totally did this on a whim. Let's see if I can figure out how to share this in case anybody wants to, come hang out. I don't know if anyone will see this. I don't know. Hello. Oh, it says I have a couple people in here. Hey. Is this working? I don't know. You guys, I'm, yay. I said to Erica, I was like, listen, I'm real bored. Do you think anybody would show up if I did a pop-up live? Like, literally a pop-up live with no promotion, no anything. She's like, I'm sure you get some people. I'm like, all right, so hi, everybody. I'm here. You're here. Say hey when you're here. I have absolutely nothing to do. I'm just, oh my God. And listen, this might be like Instagram where like I don't actually like I take it down when I'm done. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but I don't ever keep up my lives. You guys, I think I'm just slowly losing my mind because tomorrow is officially her last day of school, which like I don't know what they're doing, and I don't know if it's inappropriate or not, but we bought her like a Visa gift card and a thank you note. You know how hard it is to find like a thank you note that's not like thanks for being so special. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Just sat down to Diamond Paint and got the notification. Yes! Woo! I feel like I'm probably backwards. It's all right. Am I in the right orientation? Who knows? Who knows? Pretty sure my husband is asleep. He takes night naps. Hey, Alex! And then, so now I'm thinking of, I've got all this stuff to do. Hey, Danielle, welcome, welcome. I have all this stuff to do for tomorrow. Like, I need to get her letter board together, like those first day of school, last day of school. Oh, hey, Brandy, thanks for hopping in. Kind of, we have one, it's a dinosaur, and it says, we put on it what it says. So I have to change it so it says the last day of kindergarten, and I have to put the date. And then I have to find specific clothing for tomorrow. That's not anything you guys need to concern yourself with. I mean, not that any of this is anything you need to concern yourself with, but we have like a day trip. Thank you very much. It says Mom's Taxi Service and 24/7 down here. I was gonna wear it yesterday. Yesterday, we took my mother-in-law out for her birthday, and I had to drive like half hour the opposite direction past where I live to go pick her up, to drive like 35-40 minutes back the way I came to pick Brian up to go to dinner in the town that I live in and then take her back home. But I was like, she's going to think this is directed at her. So I didn't. The real Gretchen is in the house. Whoop, whoop. Yes, queen. So yeah, that's what's happening over here. So I think part of me is just like I'm slowly spiraling because like my whole world is about to change. My kiddo is going to be done school, and then it's going to be my responsibility to keep her entertained other than the like 4 weeks of camp that she's going to. I just saw another ice skating competition in our area open up. So I have to text her coach and see if we can register for that. But literally, school ends, and then the next week she has zoo camp for a week, and then probably ice skating camp for a week, and then nothing until August. So I need to figure out how to keep her completely entertained. And she lost TV for the entire summer already. Um, so I have to figure out how to like keep her completely contained. So yeah, so much love for all the ladies in the room. Yes, you guys. If you want to know why I'm live on YouTube, it's because Erica encourages me. You guys, Erica's a good friend that I haven't seen in a while, and I'd like to see you again soon. Okay, thanks. If you guys didn't see my live on Instagram earlier today, I unboxed this little beauty. She pretty. It was one of the Oops pens. And I figured it out that the glitter that's in here, it's not that hard because like I can see with my eyeballs. Is the actual, can you guys see that? Probably not, right? It's the Star of David uh stuff that she used for like my Hanukkah pen. Did she know that I was going to be buying this Oops when they listed it? No. But I also was like, girl, you don't need to, oh, you can ship it. And it got here the next day. It's really nice, you guys. Very thin. It's longer than my other pens. Courage and able, a fine line. Yeah, you know what? But isn't that what true friendship is built on? Encouraging your friends to do dumb shit. I mean, to just go for it, you know? How did you figure that out? How did I figure it out? Girl, I literally looked at it. I was like, I don't know what makes this an oof pen. And I was like, oh, there's a Star of David in it. I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of... Whatever. I love it. So, yeah. Do you guys have any fun summer plans? I don't have anything fun planned because I'm cool like that. I would like to take the tiny human on like a mommy and me trip. I'm a big encourager and enabler. True friendship. Yeah. It's true. It's true. I think that every friendship, like, you know, when they always say, like, you've got one friend that's this and one friend that's that. Yeah, okay, cool. But, like, you also need to be able to play different roles. Like, you can't always be the person that, hey, Angela, welcome, welcome. You have to be able to, like, I don't want to say it like play both sides. Because Alex is not a bad influence. How dare you? If you guys don't know Alex, you should. Alex is a lot of fun. She was one of my table mates and roommates at the ACDP retreat. And what Eric is saying right now is not a lie. Hey, Jamie! Welcome, welcome! So, yeah, you guys, I don't ever go live on YouTube, like, ever. Which I think is why, like, when Shay popped in, she's like, whoa. But I think I'm trying to keep myself occupied. I think that's what it is. I'm trying to keep myself occupied from, like, actually sitting in my feelings and just being, like, sad that my kid's about to be done kindergarten. And, like, I don't know if anyone has a stopwatch timer pool going on, like, how quickly until Lindsay cries in a video. But, like, my life as I know it is going to completely change. My kid's going to be in school full time. There's going to be more big kid expectations of her. It's just, it's a lot. And I want to cherish these moments before, like, they only stay little for so long. 10 minutes and I'm already crying. Uh, my day is going well, Danielle. Thank you so much for asking. I mean, obviously, I've got a lot emotion-wise going on in my head, but in general, today it's been a long day. Um, Girl, I get the feeling of kids growing up. My oldest is going to be a freshman in high school next year. Ugh, I can't even. Like, I put a reel into my stories tonight. Like, a couple. I just, I know that we're on the verge of things changing. We're like, it's not going to be fun to do the quick Walmart runs with mommy anymore. And, like, I don't want to miss out on moments because I'm so overwhelmed and stressed out from doing all of the mom tasks that I miss out on those fun moments. Like my daughter tonight told me that she loved me more than anything in the whole wide world. And she meant it. Like she 100% meant it. And then she said, I love you one number. I love daddy. And I was like your dad's literally saying like, oh, as they get older, it's just as beautiful. And when they're adults and truly become your friend, it's amazing. Savor every moment. Diamond painting kits, happy Halloween pumpkin. Very, very fun. I am ready for all the Halloween stuff. You guys, we started getting Halloween stuff last year in July, so I'm hoping that this year we get stuff before then. But, yeah. I mean, I know that, like, every year that she gets older, I'm going to have less of these, like, kinds of moments where the monotony of life is still fun. But I feel like I have so much to do between now and tomorrow. My husband and I was talking about it. I want to get some stuff to like decorate the car so that when we pick her up from school, that it says like congrats grad or whatever. Stuff like that. But then I'm like, I don't know, like are we gonna be over the top? I don't know. I don't know what normal people do. I have no idea. But and then we have a little trip planned and she has no idea. I'm really excited about that. It's like an overnight. It's not but I've got something special planned for her tomorrow for after school. And then she is skating, so we can't really do like too much tomorrow because she needs to have enough energy to ice skate for an hour and a half. And then I was like, maybe I'll shoot like a confetti cannon out my window when I pick her up. And then I was like, the school is gonna hate me, but also like I'm not gonna be there next year. We'll be at a different school. Okay, so where does one buy the right kind of paint to put on like the windows of a car? That can also be easily removed because I don't want to be driving around and have my car be a target because, like, people know. I don't know. I saw somebody today say they would never get a Kia because of all of the theft issues. And I was like, as a Kia owner, what theft issues? And I was like, do I need to worry? Diamond painting kit, Disney Frozen. Okay. Jasmine, are these all kits that you're working on, or grab some water? It doesn't tell you who's in here, right? Other than, like, the people I can see chatting. There we go. I need one more color in my tray. One more color here today. I don't know. Just making up songs. So, yeah, I think part of me is just like, I'm going to keep myself entertained by hanging out with you guys because I don't want to, like, sit and think about the sadness I truly feel. Uh-oh, Alex is about to drop the hammer, y'all. So it has been like 1 month since our diamond painting retreat. And I'm so excited about doing another one. Hello! Shay, if you're still in here. Okay. Thanks, Erica. How did your retreat go? I haven't seen anybody, like, chattering about it yet. but I would love to hear how it went. Um, excuse me. But, so does anybody watch Boy Meets World? Erica is making blanks tonight. And she let me know. She's like, I won't be able to be, like, in the chat because she'll be busy pouring in the shop. Just got out of the hospital yesterday from an infection in my lungs, now on oxygen. Oh my God, Tina. I hope that you're doing okay. That's so scary. I feel like a lot of yuckiness has been going around lately. Like, one of my daughter's friends, she just recently had COVID and pneumonia back to back. I'm like, hopefully summer treats her well because that little girl needs a break. Not your pen, Jamie. I'm too scared. Uh-oh, what did Jamie order? Also, Erica, I thought you were going to pour. Hi, Jasmine. We're super cool. Just say hi in chat. Yeah. I mean, some of us are super cool. You guys. I kid. I kid. I hope that everybody's doing well, though. It feels like a Friday. It is definitely not a Friday, but it feels like a Friday. It's funny. I was saying something to my husband, and he's like, she has ice skating tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. And so her coach says to me today, she really needs to practice more. Now, like, I don't have an ice rink, so I have to pay for ice time. Okay. Well, a lot of other kids, they know when they have like free ice time that they're supposed to work on their program or practice their skills or whatever. Meanwhile, my child is like, look how fast I can skate around in circles. And I'm like, it's not why we're here. So I've made this commitment, which is stressing me the fuck out, excuse me, that I am going to try to make it so that she skates 5 days a week when she's not at camp. She skates 3 days a week now. She skates a Monday group lesson, a Thursday group lesson, and a Friday private lesson. Hi, sister! If you guys don't know my sister, that's her, Kirsten Red Resale. Kirsten, if you can drop your channel link. My sister sells, she's a jewelry reseller, and she goes live every Thursday night at like 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tell me that's right. And I mod for her, and even if you have no interest in buying, it's always a fun time, and she has really cool stuff. And I don't think I have any other mods in here other than my sister. But that's her. That's Kirsten. She's super cool. And Kirsten, did you see I sent you a reel? Okay. You guys, my sister and I, neither one of us are big drinkers, okay? But we do both enjoy Bloody Marys. And I sent my sister a reel. I don't know if she's watched it or not. I'm not, like, spoiling anything, so... But it was a video. This person, it was, like, from Cocktail's official account. Which I'm like, I didn't know Cocktails had their own official account. So all alcohol has an account now? Anyway, I'm rambling. It was a... They took an ice cube tray. They sliced up pickles, put a little bit of pickled juice and some tahini in the ice cube mold, and you use that as the base ice cubes for your Bloody Mary. And I'm like, listen, I love those like super fancy Bloody Marys, but like I'm not at home sitting here like cubing up cheese and making bacon and putting shrimp on. But I'm like, I could make a spicy pickle ice cube and then just buy Bloody Mary mix and what is it, vodka? I don't even know. This is how little I drink. But it sounds so good. It looked so good. Oh, Kel, I do have another mod in here. Yay. I did not see it. I'm going to go look real quick. Yeah, I sent it to your personal Instagram. It sounds so good. And I'm like, damn. I mean, my sister and I are probably going to be like 107 by the time we actually can like sit down and enjoy a cocktail together. My sister and I are 10 years and 1 day apart. And I'm clearly the best little sister in the world. Um, but our kids are like the opposite end of the spectrum. Like her son is about to be a senior, and my child is just finishing kindergarten. So like our kids are not close in age. And then by the time, you know, he's adulting, I'm gonna end up with a teenager. We also have two other siblings that don't have any kids, but also neither of them really drink. We did not grow up. Tell me, did you guys grow up in a household where your like parents drank? Because like my mother, I've never seen my mother have alcohol in my entire life. She had a mimosa on her 40th birthday when she went to visit my sister and passed out. My dad occasionally will like have like a drink with dinner kind of thing, but like very, very occasionally. So like we have friends who like they literally get tanked in front of their kids, and I'm like, it's such a foreign like world to me. I didn't grow up that way. No judgment, but like um and we had a friend, um I guess we're not really friends with them anymore, that used to have these like big pool parties. And I remember like going to the pool parties and being, this was before I even had a kid. I was like, there's not a single adult watching these children in the pool. And some of these were like little kids. And I'm like, everybody else can go and enjoy themselves and party, whatever. I'm just gonna like sit here and just be like a watchful eye. Um, Both of my parents were extreme alcoholics. I don't drink at all because of it. I mean, you have two ways to go. You either follow in the foot, and it's not just of like alcohol. You follow in the footsteps, or you go the opposite direction. I grew up in a household where my parents have never said I'm sorry to me in my entire life, and I have treat my 6-year-old with more respect than I get at 41. So there's that. I'm not bitter about that at all, at all. Um, But yeah, I just remember like going to these parties and being like, "There's literally nobody watching, like a bunch of kids." Like, it did not sit well with me. Um, and we got invited to like one pool party after our kiddo was born, and I was like a total bump in a log because I, I felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, literally nobody is watching these kids. Like, this is so. And so I think they were just like, yeah, buzzkill Lindsay, and everyone was back. Uh, so, Gretchen, you were something else. I want to be you when I grow up. But yeah, I don't even know if either one of my brothers, like, I think the one has never tried alcohol, and the other, I think, has, but just doesn't drink it. I could be totally wrong. I have no idea. My parents chain smoked, and none of us kids smoked. That didn't work out in our favor. I did smoke. Both of my parents smoked. And as a kid, you guys, I was such an asshole kid. As a kid, I legit went and crushed up my parents' cigarettes and flushed them down the toilet because I was like, well, that's it. They can't smoke anymore. Not realizing, like, girl, they can go to the store and buy more cigarettes. The day I found out I was pregnant was the last time I had a cigarette. Uh, Meanwhile, my mom will tell us stories about like when she was pregnant with me or when she had me in the hospital. Like the first thing she did was find an ashtray and have a cigarette. Like times were also different. You guys, I got a new shirt. Speaking of shirts, and it says, "Please be patient with me. I'm from the 1900s," and it has the Oregon Trail like wagon. Listen, if you weren't dying of dysentery, did you really live? My best friend growing up, her parents were the same as mine, and she followed in their footsteps. It's sad. It's really hard. I mean, I have seen people make decisions that have altered their lives, and sometimes you have to just sit back knowing that there's nothing you can do because they don't want to better it for themselves, and it's hard. Oregon Trail was my jam. Yes, okay. So this one is from This and That Company, the mom's taxi service. The other one is from a shop called Snickle. She changed her shop name. I don't know. And for all the girls that are in here from the retreat, the Malibu cocktails that I bought with me to the retreat and like drank like one of, the rest of them are still in my fridge. I have not touched them since we were at the retreat. But I will. Remind me, Kirsten. Remind me. My parents are big drinkers and I'm not that big of a drinker either. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, so I've always been like very loud and outspoken. And, I'm sure that my parents didn't look at it as like, oh, our daughter's outspoken. I know they didn't because I've been told my entire life, you talk too much, you're too loud. But I really thought I was doing something like revolutionary throwing my parents' cigarettes out. My dad got hypnotized when I was little to not smoke. And then, like, the one day he came up to my husband and he was like, Brian, can I get a cigarette? And I was just like, what is happening? Fake Gretchen loved them. I think that Fake Gretchen liked the other ones. Mine were not that great. Mine were the watermelon, whatever. Also, if you guys have any great mocktail recipes, yes, I said mocktail. The 6-year-old is on a mocktail kick. Where the hell did she learn about mocktails? Don't know. She came home talking about cocktails at school, and I was like, I'm sorry, who taught you about cocktails? Oh, my teachers. No, they didn't. You guys want to hear a fun story? And by fun, I don't actually mean like super fun, but I'm going to share it anyway. So, we just had a meeting with the school. My daughter has accommodations in place. First thing, I got to say, I adore her teacher, her current teacher that she has for one more day. Hey, Margaret, welcome. I do think she's fantastic at what she does, and she's a really great teacher to my daughter. However, in interactions, I think she comes across as a little cold. I don't think she's a cold person at all. Anyway, I am really, really sick and tired of when I push for accommodations for my kid, being met with, like, that's typical 6-year-old behavior, or that's normal for kindergartners, or whatever. Like, okay, then every kid should have these same accommodations. It's normal for kids to want to wiggle. Then why do we not have wiggle breaks added into the school day so that every kid can move their body? Anyway, I digress. So, I'm just going to adjust some colors here, so because I got to shift my canvas. I am frustrated because I feel like I'm saying what my needs are, and I'm being met with like, they're all like that. I don't care if every single child on the planet is like that. If this is what my child needs to succeed, then I'm going to continue to push for it. Period. Point blank. End of sentence. And I will always be like that because that's my job as her mother. And for me, my kids had some sort of, she had an IEP when she was 15 months old when we first started county services. And I think there's a lot of people who still think that like early intervention services are like, oh, taboo, or like, no, in reality, the whole point of having early intervention is to get your child to be at the same level as their peers for whatever reason it may be. So for us, that meant we had some speech issues, and we went through all of that. My kid has had occupational therapy, speech therapy, play therapy. She had an itinerant teacher, which don't really ask me what that is because I have no idea, but she had all these things. Anyway, fast forward. We had our 504 meeting. If you don't know, there's a 504 and an IEP. An IEP is an individualized education plan. IEPs are not put in place unless there's behavior issues that go along with it. And then 504s are just like more for accommodations. There's lots and lots of overlap. Like if you have a child who is deaf or hard of hearing, an accommodation might be having a sign language interpreter. Having speech therapy. I know that blows people's minds. Anyway, these are all things. So we had our meeting and we're talking and we're going over what we think she needs in place. And thankfully, our 504s are valid for, I think they said they reevaluate it when she's going into third grade. So 2 years. Okay, cool. And at any point, because it is a flowing legal document. Okay, I love you. Thanks for hanging out. Pop back in when you're done if you want. Um, it is a flowing legal document. So if at any point I need to call a meeting and have things adjusted, I can do that. So thankfully, the district has been really great with, whatever I'm saying that I need. Like, for example, in case anyone's curious, my daughter has access to fidgets. She has access to body movement throughout the day. She does have an occupational therapist, although they have decided that they have no need to continue seeing her. And that it is just going to be, no actual occupational therapy. Fine, cool. So I'm just readjusting here if you guys are wondering what's happening. Oh my goodness, I realize I forgot an entire star here. So we're going to do that together before I change everything again. So she has a compression vest that she has access to at school. She has never used it. And I said, I don't care if she never needs to use it. She needs to use it at home. So we're going to implement that again so that she can, as needed. Okay, great. We also have on there, for example, if you guys didn't know, my daughter doesn't do any artificial coloring. So that's on our 504 as well. So my daughter tells me and my husband recently that she has been going to the guidance counselor's office when she feels overwhelmed and she has access to fidgets and they help with transitions and it's somebody for her to talk to. And I'm like, wow, this sounds great. Of course, my husband's like, don't you think it's weird that the school never let us know? And I'm like, why? It's a school counselor. Like, why would they wouldn't let us know? I don't think they would. I have no idea. So we're talking about the things that she needs in the classroom and something comes up and I said, well, obviously with her going to see the school counselor and there's a need for her to have these body movement breaks and to still have access for fidgets and all this thing. And the collective in the room, I was like, turns out my daughter has never been to the school counselor. Not once. She doesn't even know who the school counselor is. I looked at my husband and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what? I had no idea what was happening. I was like, I'm sorry. What? And they were like, she's never been to the school counselor. And I'm now using this as ammo for why I think my child still needs certain accommodations. And I had the vice principal, the school psychologist, her teacher, her occupational therapist, the school psychologist for the new school, all sitting there looking at me and my husband. And I'm like, okay, so this is what's happening. And then, of course, we talked to her because, like, if there's something going on here, like, I'd like you to be honest with me. And I was like, do you know anyone who's been to the school psychologist? No. Like, I don't know where she got this from. And she had said a name to us. And I was like, who are you saying? And she's like, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. So, like, of course, I looked it up on the website. And there is a person whose name was similar to what she was trying to convey. And so I just assumed that indeed my daughter was talking to this person. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Completely not real. The whole thing was fabricated. I mean, she even told me, like, who she was going to see the school counselor with, like, which classmates. So I had no reason to, like, ever question it. And I was just like, oh. I'm like, okay. And so I even said to her, I was like, well, is that something you'd like to do outside of school? Like, have somebody that you could talk to about things? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Meanwhile, I've been sitting on like waiting lists for 2 years. But I was like, and now I'm like, is that, I mean, I know it's normal for kids to lie, but like, is it normal to just completely fabricate an entire person and their existence? I don't know. But yeah, so that happened. Um, so that was interesting. We'll call it interesting, you know? Oh, thank you, Cal. I love it. Yeah, so, but I got an email from the school psychologist of the school that she is finishing tomorrow, and they had, her current teacher has been really fantastic about food. If there's ever a day where they have like a food prize, like a snack or anything like that, it's always gone over with me to make sure that she can have whatever it is, or if I know of any brands, things like that. She's been really great. But like, I need to know what's in the food that the school serves in the cafeteria, so that if she decides she would like to eat school lunch with her friends, that I know the food's safe. And so, because the school year, there's no more school meals. Tomorrow is the last day and it's a half day. When I go to the website that she told me to go to, it just says, like, I looked at chocolate milk and it says ingredients. Chocolate milk. Like, okay. Okay, so, because I have so much stuff on my desk, it's like not even funny. But yeah, so that's how these last couple days have gone here. And then, of course, we had a huge blowout, because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have a huge fight about this made-up school psychologist or school therapist or whoever, whatever she called him officially. Okay. Did you guys see my, I know it's backwards, but it's my ACDP retreat. There's a diamond in the middle, and it's like actually like a little slab of wood. I love it. I love it. That's my Moira. So, anyway. That's how life's going at my neck of the woods. How's it going for you guys? I hope she does too, Cal. I am excited for her. I'm not really sure that they're going to be doing anything even remotely educational tomorrow, because if you guys have heard me bitch once, you've heard me bitch a million times. There is no... You didn't get one, Alex? Well, Erica, add that to your list. There's no school for the half-day PM kids, only the AM kids. And this is, I think, the 7th day of school that my child will have that the PM kids won't. So, needless to say, I'm not super thrilled about that. Okay, we're going to move all this paper that's sitting right at the edge of my diamond painting. I know you guys are all like, you're a free-range diamond painter. What you doing over there? I'm just laying down some release paper so I can rest my hand and my tray and not have it be an issue. Some of them are not set in time, so I still have a list. Okay. Got it. Mama's Crafts and Coffees. Tomorrow is my son's last day of kindergarten as well. Year went by so fast. Yes. It's crazy. Like, I can't get over how fast certain things seem to be going. And I'm just like... And then it's making me, get sad, because I know that it's just going to get faster. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to be... it's going to be, more hours outside of the house and less hours at home. And I'm not ready. My baby girl is going into her senior year. You guys, I can't. It's so hard. It's so hard. Oh, I hear my husband down there. All right, so, um, trying to figure out. So I'm gonna work on her face right now. Where's my tray? So there we go. Erica and In the Fall. You guys, Alex is like champion #1 for us having another retreat soon. She's like, it's gonna happen, whether we want it to or not. We're gonna have another retreat. Oh, that's fun. I've got 2 symbols that are really similar, and I didn't think about that when I chose this. So, my baby girl is going through menopause. Oh, Margaret. I already scheduled time off. You guys are something else. I do not like this symbol choice that the manufacturers used. I really don't. I really, really don't. So this is the symbol. Can you see it? Focus. Cool. Anyway, it looks like a smiley face. I don't know why it's not showing up. But it's like one of those symbols that like takes up the whole space. So I am not ready. My baby, 22 years old, is proposing to his high school sweetheart on Friday. And my 27-year-old is getting married on the 15th. How exciting! Good luck and congratulations. Okay, so you have younger adults in your life. I need to ask you. So my nephew is getting married this summer. He is about the same age as your kiddo. And I got something in the mail, and it said like the date and like general location of the wedding, which they're doing a destination wedding in Florida on the beach. And it's super informal. And like I said to Brian, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're just eloping. Like, I don't think this is like a true like formal wedding. So today in the mail, I get an invitation to a bridal shower for his fiance. And nowhere on this invitation does it have any information as to who to RSVP to. Okay, not a big deal. I'll just text my sister-in-law and say, hey, it doesn't have any information, but I'm letting you know I'm not going to be able to make it. They live in upstate New York, so it is very far of a drive for me. We went last summer for my niece's graduation, and it was like 10 hours to get there and like 8 hours to get home. I'm not driving 16 to 20 hours for a wedding shower for a girl I've met once. So she then says to me, oh, thanks for letting me know. And then follows up with, we have you guys down with, you have an RSVP to the wedding. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't get an invitation. I just got like a save the date. And she's like, oh no, they're just young and they didn't want to do formal invitations. That was their wedding invitation. I'm sorry. What? The thing that told me the date and that it was in whatever city in Florida, that was a wedding invitation? There's no time. There's no actual location. There's no RSVP. There's nothing. And I'm like, how am I supposed to know that that was like an invitation? And I was like, is this just like the younger generations? Do they just not care about RSVPs? Or is it like super informal and they just don't want to listen to their parents because they're 22 years old and I have no idea, Alex. I'm not going. And, they're 22 years old and they think that they know more than the adults, so they're not doing anything. The other thing is, and I didn't even bring this up to my sister-in-law because I wasn't trying to get into an argument because, like, I'm literally not going. I'm just not. My mother-in-law's not going. My other brother-in-law's not going. Like, it's, it, first of all, do you see me? Do you see what I look like? Do you think this face and body wants to be out on the beach in the middle of July in Florida? Absolutely not. But the invitation was just addressed to Mr. and Mrs. It didn't say and family. So my daughter was not formally invited. And I wasn't going to bring that up because I don't need them to be like, no, it's okay. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to not bring my daughter. And if you said to me, okay, well, you can't bring her, you can't come, then I'd be like, peace out. I'm not coming. Like, I don't understand. Like, we've been to, like, birthday parties and everything just seems so, like, and maybe it's because, like, I'm an older mom, but I feel like a lot of things are just like, yeah, if you can come, that's cool, let me know. Like, but it's okay. And, like, no, what do you mean? How, but also, like, is it that informal of a wedding? Like, are they going to actually have food? Are they going to have seats? How do you know how many people are coming if there's no RSVP? And, like, I don't know this girl's family. So, like, I couldn't reach out to them even if I wanted to. I raised mine different. My son still asked permission. Yeah, I mean, my husband. So, I also think, and this is just a personal opinion, where is my pen with, there it is, my straightener. I think that everybody is kind of like, they're really young. Maybe they shouldn't be doing this yet. Like, nobody's saying, like, you shouldn't marry this girl. They're just saying, like, make sure you have graduated college and you finished and you're ready to do what you want to do. I have no idea. But I was just like, so when she texted me and said, well, that is the invitation, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I regret to inform you we will not be attending. So yeah. I mean, my husband, not that we don't like, like his niece and nephew and stuff like that, but like I'm not close with this family member. He was a little kid when we started dating and he's like never had an actual like adult conversation with me. And you want me to fly to another state and spend a ton of money on airfare, and because this is like a super informal thing, there's no like wedding hotels booked off, like it's not gonna be an inexpensive thing. It's just a lot. I had 3 younger cousins get married in the last 2 years, all had formal invitations. And then I saw this post that was saying like certain communities don't, because they just expect everyone to show up, and I'm like, absolutely not. I would, how does one plan? How does one plan to like host a party if you don't know how many people are coming? How do you know how much food to have? How do you know how much seating to have? How do you know if it's going to be like within fire code? And that might just be because like I'm one of those people that like I worry about like things that haven't even happened yet, but like, what? And then I'm like, is it because I'm old? I don't know. Right, how do you know how much food to have? That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys, I don't know. I don't know. I got married during COVID, still sent out formal invites to my 25 guests. You fancy. Excuse me. I don't know. I just thought it was really odd. And I just kind of gave my sister-in-law a very, like, short and to the point answer. Because I was like, I am not trying to get into an argument. Because it also feels like this isn't how she would do it if she had a say. But I get the impression that the two of them think that they know more than everyone else. I know a lot of young people think that. We were raised in a more proper atmosphere. Listen, I had a friend that I've known. So I switched schools in 7th grade. And I started this new school, and I sat down with this girl, and I said, like, can I sit here? And she was like, yeah. And we became friends. And I had my bat mitzvah like 2 months after I started school, and it was my homeroom class and her. I didn't have any other friends because I was new to the school. So anyway, super long story short, my wedding comes around, and I got married over 10 years after I graduated. So I had known this girl since 95. I got married in 2012. And she didn't RSVP. And I reached out and I was like, listen, like, I just need a yes or no. Like, I won't be offended if you say no. Just let me know. So then I messaged her, and it is like, I don't know, 24, 48 hours before my wedding. And I said to her, listen, I know you're not coming, but it would just be nice if you would answer me and let me know, hey, I can't make it. I don't need a reason. Like, life. You don't want to come, you can't come. It doesn't matter to me. Just, like, respond. Sometimes people are invited as a formality or a nicety, and they realize you probably can't make it, but they want to be inclusive. So, from the conversation I had with my sister-in-law, is that they didn't want anything to be formal. And these were all, like, handwritten. Like, they weren't even computer printed. Like, they wrote all the information. Which means that they did that for however many people they invited. I don't know. It is what it is. And obviously, like, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I was just like, oh, you're telling me that that thing that literally looked like a save the date from, like, Kinko's was your wedding invitation? Oh, cool, cool, cool. But I don't know. Maybe I'm a different generation. Maybe I just find it rude. Like, I see that all the time now. Like, people, like, they'll throw birthday parties for their kid, and they'll be like, you know, the party is tomorrow, and we don't have it, and nobody's RSVP'd. And I'm like, what do you mean nobody's RSVP'd? Like, if you don't want to go or you can't make it, just say no. Like, I can tell you right now, as a grown-ass adult, if somebody doesn't want to come to something that I'm hosting, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm not going to be like, but I need to know why. Listen, how many times have we all, like, bailed on something or said no to something because we simply didn't want to go? But you don't want to say to the person, oh, I just don't want to come, so I'm not coming. And then you go, well, I don't want to make up an excuse. And then you just don't say anything. Or you do make up an excuse, and then you're like, why did I lie about that? My question is, if it is not an invitation, how do you know that you are actually invited? I don't know. I really thought it was just to save the date. And I honestly, like, I just find it odd. And I find it odd that people, like, don't RSVP. And also, like, if their wedding is next month and I haven't RSVP'd, because also there was no, like, date to RSVP by, because there was no RSVP information. Wouldn't you have shouldn't, like, you reach out and be like, hey, just wanted to know if you guys are going to be able to make it. Like, I chased down, I feel like, so many people for our wedding. And some of them were, like, my parents' friends. And I was like, you need to ask them. Like, I don't want to invite them in the first place. But sorry, Margaret, yay! Margaret's using a multi-blazer now, guys. I convinced her to try. I don't know. Like, I would never send my kid to a birthday party that I didn't, like, message the parents or whatever and respond. I got so much shit. Somebody sent me an invitation, like, they put it in my kid's backpack, and they sent it home with her, and they said, the mom's name and phone number. And it didn't say anywhere, call or text. So I didn't assume that I could text the number, because I feel like if I was giving, like, my mother, for example, she doesn't text. So I would, like, my mom would not say, she would just say, call to RSVP at, or, like, call. But locally, I asked a question because, like, I knew this little girl, but not very well. Our girls went to preschool together. This is not really that important. But anyway, I had called the mom to let her know we were going to be able to make it to the birthday party. She never answered. She never replied. So I didn't want to text the number then to follow up, because I'm like, if she wanted, she would have texted me back and been like, thanks for letting me know, or whatever. I just assumed it was taken at face value. Super long story short. All these people were like, well, you should just text her to ask her what her kid's into. And I was like, but I don't know, like, if this is a cell phone. I mean, probably is. I have no idea. But, like, I don't know the mom. I've never had a conversation with the mom. So, like, I wouldn't assume if somebody gave me their number to text them unless they said that. And it's probably because, like, the age that I'm at versus, like, the other people I'm surrounding myself with. I don't know. Anyway, again, I had no idea what to do because I was like, well, I don't want to text her now that I've already called her, and I don't want to call her again because she never answered the call or returned the call. So I just kind of guessed what the kid was into. But this one girl was like, you should never call and leave a message for someone. That just gives people so much anxiety. And I'm like, then don't leave a phone number. If you want me to RSVP but you don't want to interact with me, then give me an email address and say, please email your RSVP at momofwhoever@gmail.com. Like, I was like, come on now. I'm like, you can't tell me that I gave that mom anxiety for contacting her via the phone number that she provided for me to RSVP to. Like, oh my God. And I'm sure there are people, like, my dad thinks it's absolutely crazy that I don't answer the phone if I don't know the number. He's like, that's some kind of, like, conspiracy thing. And I'm like, no. There's so many spam and scammers out there. If I don't know that number, I'm not going to answer it. And if you don't leave me a message, it wasn't important in the first place. Is anybody else like that? Like, my dad, I think it's a generational thing because my parents and my husband's parents will both answer the phone no matter what. Like, if I'm calling them and they're sitting down to dinner, my mom will answer the phone. She'll talk to me for a couple minutes and be like, I really can't talk right now. Like, we're just sitting down to eat dinner. Then why did you answer the phone? And she's like, well, you called. Right. And like, if it was important, I would leave you a message or I would call. Like, if I really needed to get a hold of my parents, like, I'd call the house multiple times. I'd call the cell. Like, I would make it known it was an emergency. You know what I mean? And like, I've said this to my mom so many times, like, please don't answer the phone if you are not available, because a lot of times, like, she'll answer the phone and she'll snap at me. Like, what? And I'm like, girl, what did I do? I just called you. Or like, I'm standing naked, I just got out of the shower. And I'm like, don't tell me that. Like, Jamie, don't call me. Give me anxiety when you call. Oh, you guys, I was just like, when that girl said that, I was like, then don't give out phone numbers. Like, if you don't want people contacting you via phone, then don't give out your phone number. Or specifically say, don't call me. Just text me. I don't answer unknown numbers. Me neither. At all. I pick up for no one except for Florida numbers because I always think it has to do with my parents. And, like, nowadays, like, people, like, they spoof numbers. Like, I've gotten phone calls from my own number before. Obviously, I know I'm not calling myself. But I think in general, I think most people, like, they'll just, if it's important enough, they'll leave you a voicemail. You know what I mean? Like, so, sorry for the super long tangent rant. Almost said ranch. Because, I don't know, I feel like certain things have gone by the wayside with, especially certain generations. But I just, like, if I'm busy, I'm not going to answer the phone. At all. And if I need to, I'll get back to you. You know, like, if you left me a message or you sent me a text message to follow it up, you know, I'll probably get back to you. I will get back to you. I don't know why I said probably. But I'm not going to go out of my way, like, if I'm in the midst of doing something, to answer the phone and then snap at the person on the phone and be like, why did you call me? I'm busy. Then why did you answer? She could have given an email. Exactly. Like, exactly. So all of this was to say there was absolutely no contact information on the bridal shower or the now I know wedding invitation. Because at one point my mother-in-law was like, oh, did you guys get a wedding invitation? And I even said to her, I was like, no, we just got to save the date. And she's like, oh, okay. So. Sorry, I saw my phone light up. I was trying to see if there was anything exciting. My brother let me know he got blood work done today. Thrilling stuff, you guys. This generation is weird. And I am a millennial. My husband and I are millennial Gen X. Like, we're both on the cusp. I'm on the cusp of the elder millennial. He's like a baby Gen Xer. So we're both like that Xennial. But we are millennial Gen Xers raising a Gen Alpha. Whereas a lot of people in my generation have Gen Zers. I don't know. Everything just seems weird. And I don't know when I turned into the whole, like, get off my lawn kind of person. But I did. Like, I don't remember feeling like I was getting old. I just, like, see all these things and I'm like, these references, and I'm like, what? Like, I like to make I'm gluttony for punishment. I like those videos where it's like, you know, the older generations interviewing the younger generations, and they'll be like, what's a fax machine? They're like, I don't know, a machine that tells you facts about things. And I'm like, oh my God. Or knowing that there's how many people in this world that have no idea what, like, be kind, rewind, as what that means, or even really what rewinding means. Like, my daughter asked us why we had a bunch of, we have DVDs, and she thought they were all music, and I was like, no, girl, these are movies. And she's like, why are they on a CD then? And I'm like, they're on a DVD. Well, why don't you just tell the Google or tell the remote to play it? And I'm like, oh my God. Like, we had to explain to my daughter recently about the TV Guide channel. First, we talked to her about, like, the paper TV Guide, which she was like, you had to look up in a book to know what was playing on TV? Yes, girl, I did. That was not weird. That was normal. And then they had the TV Guide channel, which if you blinked and you missed it, you had to wait for it to all come back around. Like, she can't comprehend that, like, you couldn't pause live TV. If you wanted to watch something at a time that it wasn't airing, you had to tape it. And she's like, why didn't you just tell it? And I'm like, because we didn't have on demand. We didn't have streaming services. Like, girlfriend, I'm older than Google. And then I'm like, what? Like, the new debate right now, that young people can tell what generation you are by your socks. Here's the thing. I'm old enough to not give a fuck what somebody else thinks about my socks. But apparently, like, millennials, we all wore ankle socks because, God forbid, we wore a crew sock. That was like an old person sock when we were kids, right? So you'd have to fold down your sock and wear it under your foot and make it, because the least amount of sock possible showing. That's what you needed to do, right? Okay, so now, like, the Gen Z kids, ankle socks are for old people and crew socks are it. That's the thing. And I'm like, first of all, I'm old enough to know that crew socks were old people socks for a very long time. And my ass is not putting a crew sock on. And I also don't care if a bunch of, like, 16-year-olds or 25-year-olds think I'm cool. I don't need their approval. I'm dope as shit. I don't need that approval from somebody else. But I certainly am not going to take my fashion advice from anybody, because I am in my Adam Sandler phase. Like, I am all about the comfy. I don't care if I leave my house looking homeless. It is what it is. And, like, I'm never going to be, like, the mom from Mean Girls. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to be like I'm a cool mom. Like, if my kid thinks I'm cool now, I'm sure she's not going to think I'm cool when she gets older, because every kid goes through that phase. I don't remember ever looking at my mom and being like, my mom is so uncool. I just don't remember being like, you guys, I have a cool mom. So hopefully I end up in that weird happy medium, because I just don't want to be dealing with weird teenage girl drama. But I mean, I'm sure I will for other reasons, but like socks. Also, the younger generation is all about like 90s aesthetic and like our fashion, but then they want to criticize our fashion. Like, I don't care if I'm not supposed to have my hair parted a certain way. Like, no. What? Listen, my hair parts its own way. That's how I'm going to wear it. That's it. There's nothing to it. It's not about like what makes me cool. It's a matter of when I take my hair out, which way does it fall? It goes like this. Sometimes I'll flip it over for a photo to make it look like it's got like a lot of movement to it. But like, look at me. I'm in a mom bun and I have no pants on. Like, if anyone had that on their bingo card for tonight, no, I don't have pants. But I just don't know like when I became this old person. Like, I see things and it'll be like the 30th anniversary of this song and I'm like, what? Or this song came out 40 years ago. I'm like, that's not possible. And then I'm like, wow. So they say if when we were younger, Dazed and Confused came out and it was set in the 60s. If a movie like that were to come out today, it would be set in the 90s. And I'm like things like that just, this generation is weird. I couldn't have said it better myself, Jamie. And then I also, like, I keep getting these reels of, like, middle school teachers, and they're talking about, like, the weird slang and terms. Like, skibbity toilet, Ohio Riz, Sigma. What? What? What the fuck does any of that mean? Ohio means bad. I know that. Riz means charisma. I still don't really know what skibbity means. And skibbity apparently is positive, but if it's skibbity Ohio, it's not positive. I don't... Like, can you just... You know how we wipe them out? We write all the instructions in cursive and none of them can read it. So, there's that. Oh. What are you guys all working on tonight? Did you guys come here to hear me rant? Because I hope I gave you what you were looking for. It's always a rant, me crying, usually me ranting. But I feel like I'm lost in this world sometimes. I have no idea what's going on. Something's on my leg. It's probably a hair from my own head. Anyway, it got real quiet in here. Did I scare you guys with the Skibbity Ohio toilet? Riz? Phantom tax? Like, are these all made up? I mean, they're made up by somebody, but like, how does somebody start new talk? I don't even know what to call it. And then how does it spread? I mean, the internet's how it spreads, but I don't know. How are we on time? 10:08. 10:08, you guys. I don't know why I'm saying it as if I have to get off at a certain time. Also, another thing about me getting older, which, let me say, getting older is a privilege and not everybody gets to do it. So I am here. Like, my body's falling apart, but like, I'm here for it. Like, I want to be around. I want to, like, you guys, so my mother-in-law, it's her birthday today. She turned 80. And my husband, we took her out to dinner last night, and he's like, happy birthday, Mom. Many more. And she's like, God, I hope not. Oh, okay. I was like, how do you respond to that as your granddaughter is sitting there? Because she's like, I'm going to my youngest grandson's graduation today, and this will probably be the last one I ever go to. And it's just like, could she live to be in her 90s? Sure. But, like, saying things like that, I don't know. Just, like, rubbed me the wrong way. But I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. You know, my daughter doesn't want to think about, like, her grandmother's not going to be here. No, that's going to make me sad. Saying that out loud. Chances are none of her grandparents are going to be around when she graduates. Well, I guess what I'm talking about is not interesting. I just lost like half the chat. Everyone who's still here, I love you and I appreciate you, and I hope that you're all having a good time. Do we want more random pop-up lives on YouTube? I don't know. Let me know. I don't know if I'm going to save this or not. I think I said that earlier. I like that with YouTube, when you go and watch a replay of a live, you can see the chat. Because on Instagram, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't save that. Which is a blessing and a curse. So. You guys, and I know I'm going to, like, jinx myself by saying it, we haven't gotten any, like, creepy weirdos. The last time I went live, oh my god. Erica was just, like, putting people in timeout, and Erica and Kel were just, like, booting people, and that shit was crazy the last time I went live. I had people asking me to, like, call them weird names. They were asking me questions that were wildly inappropriate. Which means now that I said that, I'm going to get a bunch of weirdos in here. All the weirdos, come find me. Just kidding. Don't come find me. I'll find you. Does anybody else watch Catfish? We watched last week's episode, and I just want to say, I'm not a program director. I don't work for TV. Nothing that I say makes any impact on anyone. But they brought back Max for like a single episode, and I feel like they shouldn't have advertised that. Because when they were like, we're going to do our big secret unveil who it is, who's our guest co-host. And it's like, we already know. Because you've been running commercials for a whole week. You've been running ads saying Max is back. You could have just left it as is. And then when you guys turned the camera around, we would have all been like, oh, it's Max. But they didn't. And I, for one, saw that as a missed opportunity. Now, I'm sure it was also, like, for the purposes of, like, ratings and things like that, because people are going to tune in if they know he's there. But I feel like they would have tuned in if it spread all over the internet that, like, holy shit, you guys, Max came back. Nobody knew. I don't know. I feel like I need more shows to watch. But I also feel like I haven't watched any TV in forever because we got a Roku and I have to go watch it downstairs. And that's not really that convenient. Like, if I want to watch while I'm diamond painting. You know? Bird is the word. What's happening here? 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. All right. I see we're about to have a... So, there's a group chat happening. And that's what I was just looking at. What is everybody's thoughts on group chats? Fun fact, I absolutely hate group chats. But I'm in a bunch of them. My least favorite are the rep ones. Holy moly. Nothing is more annoying than when, like, there's 50 freaking mothers in one Facebook group chat, and all they talk about is, like, their kids and their outfits and their all whatever they're doing all day long. And then they post about it, and now we're supposed to, like, act interested in it, even though we already had a whole ass conversation about it. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I hear my husband. Ugh. So what do you guys think? Should I put this up and let the rest of the people watch the replay? Or should I just leave it be sacred between the 18 of you that are in here and myself? Let me know. I feel like I don't know what people like with YouTube. Do they like watching these kinds of videos on replays? I don't know. I never do them. I never do them. I don't ever go live on YouTube unless it's like something that's pre-planned for like my event or something like that. And I've always had this fear that if I do it, like nobody's gonna show up. But you guys showed me that even without me posting it all over everywhere, you guys still showed up for me. And I appreciate that because I love you all. I do. I really do. I don't feel like getting my extra drills, so I'm just going to work on this a little bit, and then I guess I'm going to be done with it because I have spare bags down on my storage containers that are down on the floor. But that's it. That's all. I don't want to... Did I lose everyone? Nobody's said anything in like forever. Well, I hope that you guys have all been having a lovely week. I know I am so behind on life right now. I think it's like the change of like seasons, you know, like with my kid in school and stuff like that. But like, I haven't been to the market. I've got dishes to get done, trash that needs to be taken out, projects I need to do, not diamond painting related. I feel like I just have so much to do, and I'm just avoiding everything at all costs because I don't want to face it. But excuse me. But I think I'm gonna get out of here in a few minutes, you guys. Unless anybody else has like anything like fun and exciting they want to chat about, which I'm totally here for if there is. I'm at like a weird angle with the light, so if you see me like leaning down or like leaning back up and things like that, 'tis what's happening. But this has been fun. I'd like to do it again. I had fun. Would you guys like to come hang out with me again while I am live on the tube of you? If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, it's cool. But I do randomly go live. Sometimes it's a couple times in a week. Sometimes it's a couple times in a day. And then other times it's like months where I don't go live at all. So if you like hanging out, come hang out. Come follow me. Do all that cool stuff. But I think I'm getting to the point here. I'm running out of drills without having to get up and go get more drills. And I'm not really trying to do that right now. There is part of the plastic cover that keeps catching the light. And it is just, every time it does that, I'm like, is there a critter? Like, it is driving me crazy. But All right, you guys. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. I'm going to get out of here. Perhaps go watch some television with my husband. I heard him, so maybe he's downstairs. But this was fun. Thanks for hanging out, and I may or may not post the replay, but I'm glad you guys are all here. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it 2 thumbs up. One real life, one virtual. Hit that little thumbs up character. Hit the bell. Do all the fun things. Let's be friends. But if you're already here, you're probably already my friend. And I love you, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night, everybody. Bye, guys.